धन्यवाद Shobhit ji, Mala ji. It is because of her insistence that I am here in this program today with all of you. It is an honor to get associated with such a special program. I will start with the Dheya Shloka of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, the theme Shloka from Vishnu Purana, which explains the theme of why we need to work in the field of education from an original perspective of Bharatiya way of life. Tatkarmayanna bandhaya savidyaya vimuktaye ayasaya param karma vidyanya shilpa naipunam. So the seer, the Rishi of Vishnu Purana is explaining that Vidya is one which liberates. Sa Vidya ya vimuktaye. Vidya is one which liberates. But he does not stop there. He says, any other sort of learning, anything that you learn which does not liberate you, he has used the word in a very derogatory way, that it is only Shilpa Naipunam. Shilpa Naipunam is what we call today skill. So he has used it, if the learning does not liberate you, it is only a skill which can be adopted by anybody by due practice. If anyone without an iota of intelligence practices something, he will get the skill. You don't need something to acquire the skill. Acquiring this skill is the easiest way of just repeating, making it a habit. If you repeat it several times enough, then it becomes part of your subconscious mind and it works without putting any real effort into it. And when it becomes effortless, you are skillful. While we started learning how to cycle, use the bicycle, it was a tedious job to remember where the brakes are, where the pedals are, and at the same time concentrating on the traffic. So it was a lot of multitasking for the child who started learning the bicycle, to ride the bicycle. But slowly we got habituated to it and it became part of our subconscious reflex action. And today when we drive any vehicle, for that matter, four-wheeler or two-wheeler, we are least bothered about the small technical things like the accelerator, the gear, the clutch or the brake or something like that. You can think while you are driving because the conscious mind can engage in anything else because it has become part of your habit. That is skill. So the Vishnu Purana Rishi is saying that this is not learning, this is not Vidya. This is only acquiring skill. What is Vidya? Vidya is one which liberates, one which frees you from the bondage. So bondages and freeing oneself from the bondages is the most important aspect of any education system. And that's what we have lost in fact today. And that's why this whole work of 5 decades of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal is aimed at this liberating the Vidya, which in turn will liberate everybody who gets it. The Vidya itself is today bound in so many regulations and so many governmental things that it is not able to liberate. And that's why all these efforts are being put by Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal. But the first part of Shloka is very important, and it is very important for the this course that we have completed here and the convocation of which we are attending today. For that also it is very important. This learning process, this indigenous way of looking at most customized learning experience. In fact, at the individual level, not creating any kind of classes. Treating each one as a unique personality and allowing that unique personality to blossom from within, that is real education. In fact, the word education in English itself etymologically means that. If you go to the root of the word itself, the science of root of the word, etymology, if you look at the etymology of education, it means to bring out, to unravel, to discover. Very beautifully in Upanishad, the word is used as apavrinu, to take down the cover. One which is covered, just throw down the cover and apavrinu, open it up to all of us. That's what the Rishi is praying to Surya, Pushan, the one who nourishes everybody, nourishes everything that is there, nourishes the existence. Pushan, that is the one of the names of sun. Hiranmayena patrena, this golden vessel, Hiranmayena patrena, Satyasya apihitam mukham, has covered the face of truth. This beautiful golden vessel has covered the face of truth. Tat tvam apavrinu. Please uncover that for us. Pushan, we are praying to the nourisher that uncover the cover on this Satyasya Mukham, this face of the truth, the gateway of truth, because I want to get the truth, I want to know the truth, I want to be the truth, the ultimate truth. And the impediment is the veil of Maya, the veil of ignorance. That is Sa Vidyaya Vimukte. That liberation is from this bondage of veil of Maya. Tattvam Pushan Apavrinu. That Apavrinu word is the real translation of education. Education it etymologically means Apavrinu. Hence this first part of the Dheya Shloka of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, which says Tat Karma Yan Na Bandhaya. Like Savidyaya Vimukte, education is that which liberates, Vidya is that which liberates. It also defines karma. The same shloka is defining karma also. Tat karma, that is karma, that is action. English is a very poor language, and most of the times Sanskrit cannot be translated in English. But beauty of English is it is not shy of borrowing words from other languages. So we can use Sanskrit words as it is in English. So karma is that is karma, tat karma, yat, which, na bandhaya, which does not bind. Now this is exactly opposite of whatever today's science has told you. It is exactly opposite Viloma of Newton's third law of motion. It defies the basic theory of science, which is cause and effect analysis. The first part of this Dheya Shloka from Vishnu Purana says, karma is one which does not bind. Means an action without an effect. An action without a cause. Causeless, effectless action. Newton says not possible. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Third law of motion. But that is the way karma is to be done. The whole Bhagavad Gita is about that. Yuddhasva vigata jvara. The paradox. Get into the battle, fight the battle. Yuddhasva, fight the battle. Vigata jvara, without any hyperactivity of your mind, without adrenaline surge. Fight without adrenaline. That is what Krishna is saying. This is a paradox. So action without bondage. Every action will create an effect. Every action is a result of a cause, and it is a cause for the next action. So chain of actions is our life. And here the Rishi is saying, but chain, when you are got bound by that chain of actions, you are not acting, you are reacting. You are only giving vent to the effect of the earlier cause with your ego attached to it, and with that attachment you are creating a cause for next action. So that chain of action will bind you into life, what you call life. And the goal of life is to get away from the bondage. Mukti. Again, no translation. I use the word liberation, but liberation is nothing compared to mukti. Muchyate. Mukti is muchyate. Untie the knot. This knot which is called as granthi. What in psychology we have so many, all kinds of phobia and all that. These are nothing but the mental knots which are to be untied. In Sanskrit we call it granthi. So granthi is the knot. The knot has to be untied. That is vimuchyate. That is mukti. That is unbinding yourself. And this has to be done while doing action, not by inaction. Ma karma phala bhutosmi mate sangostu akarmani. That is what Krishna says. Don't get attached to akarma. Not doing action is not the option. Your option is to do the action with a dexterity, with such dexterity that you will not get tied up in the chain of reactions. That is defined as kushalam in Bhagavad Gita. That is the definition of kushalam in Bhagavad Gita. Yoga karmasu kaushalam is not a definition of yoga. It is definition of kaushala. Karmasu yogam. When the karma is done with buddhi yoga, that is the first part of that shloka. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukruta dushkrite tasmat yogaya yujjasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. When your mind is one with the action, buddhi yoga, when you are one, completely aligned, the body, mind, intellect, BMI is completely aligned. One. That is yujjate. That is yoga. So when you are like that, the buddhi yukta, when you are targeted, when you are focused, when you are really concentrated, buddhi yukto, that is buddhi yoga is in practice. That's why you have become buddhi yukta. You are now qualified with that kind of an intellect which gives you the right to do the real action, which does not bind. Tat karma yanna bandhai. You can do that if you have buddhi yukta. Buddhi yukta means body, mind, intellect are truly aligned. If that happens, jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite. When that happens, both sukruta and dushkrita, both the karma, the good and the bad, jahatiha are burnt down. They are destroyed completely, and hence do the yoga. Tasmat yogaya yujjasva. Hence do the yoga, because that is the only way by which you can get out of this encircling, engulfing chain of karma after karma after karma, Sukrita and Dushkrita, both creating bondages. Swami Vivekananda uses a beautiful simile, says it does not mind whether the chain that binds you is made of gold or of iron, because it is going to bind you. So Sukrita, or your good karmas, are the golden chains which will create punya, and that punya has again to be enjoyed. Bhunjate, bhogna padega. And if you are doing dushkrita, malefied intentions, if the intentions are malefied, your action will create a result which again you will have to endure. Either enjoy or endure. Both are bondages. So, tatkarma yanna bandhaya is the goal of life. Being completely busy 24 hours a day without getting bound to that karma. That's what Bhagavan Shri Krishna said, Yoga karmasu kaushalam. When you do karma with such a yoga, such beautiful alignment of all your faculties, pancha karmendriya, pancha jnanendriya, all the dashendriyas are in tune and aligned in one series, focused completely on the ultimate goal to achieve that through that action. If that kind of a targeted, focused karma you are capable of, then it will not bind you, because you will be so much involved and engulfed and be one with the process that you will not think even subconsciously about the result while doing the karma. That is ma phaleshu kadachana. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana is the most misinterpreted shloka of Bhagavad Gita. It does not say don't think about phala. Does not say. It does not give any instruction. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is given very few instructions. Only one instruction he repeats 27 times. Yuddhasva, yuddhasva, tasmat pamuttishta yuddhaya kratanishaya. Fight, fight, fight. That is only one Upadesha Bhagavan Shri Krishna has given. All other are explanations of the science. And Krishna has allowed Arjuna to take his own decision. Vimrushedat asheshena yathechasi tatha kuru. The 63rd shloka of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is the essence of learning. Essence of what a real guru should be. Not imposing anything on the learner. He is only giving one condition, only one precondition. Vimrushedat asheshena. Deliberate, discuss, think about it, contemplate, asheshena, without keeping anything. Don't anything remain. Don't let anything remain. Asheshena, nothing shesha, nothing remains back. Completely, entirely, totally doing the deliberations, contemplation within and without with your guru and all that. Vimrishedat asheshena. After you do that, yathechasi tatha kuru. Do as you like. So here in Karmande Vadikaraste also, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is not saying do karma and don't think about phala. No, he is not saying that. He is only simply stating a fact of life. That you have got adhikara, and the word adhikara does not translate into right. In fact, if a very near translation in English, if you want of the Sanskrit word adhikara, it is qualification. You have the qualification to learn Vedas. Veda adhikaraha, Vedadhyana adhikaraha. Adhikara means you have earned the prerequisite qualities to do something. That is adhikara. So, karmani eva adhikaraha te. Eva, only. only karma is in you are qualified to do only karma. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have the adhikara, you don't have the qualities of acquiring phala. In fact, you are not born for the phala, you are born for the karma. That is tat karma yanna bandha hai. And when we are born, we are all pashu. Pashu is one who is bound by the pasha. Pasha is the bondage. And pashu is one who is bound. And vimuktaye is the goal, because we are human. You cannot be bound. You are not born to be pashu. You are born to be human. You are not animals. No. Not at all. That's not your composition. That's not what you are. And hence, even if you throw it away, even if you postpone all these things, one day, in one incarnation, in one life cycle, you will have to liberate yourself from all your bondage. Why not do it now when we have to do it sometime? To give that capacity, to give that enabling, give that empowerment, give that strength to every human being is the purpose of Vidya, is the purpose of education. That each one should be enabled, each one should be empowered, each one should be completely given that liberty of doing action without getting bound. That kind of a learning is called as Vidya. All the learnings, whether it is 64 kalas, art forms, or 16 vidyas, all the faculties of knowledge, different branches of knowledge, all the learning is aimed at this one thing, vimuktaye. And vimuktaye means being able to do karma without getting bound to the result. That is goal of human life. To make it very simple, what is the difference between a human and an animal? Why animal is a pashu? Because it has got limited options to act or react. Even to react, it has got a limited action.